7:13 now. It's that gastronomical gauntlet we call the holiday season. So we all might need a little help keeping our bellies inside of our belts. Well, that's where Fit Behavior's Carolyn Phillips comes in. And this is, Carolyn, we know the holidays are packed with temptation. You're going to help us kind of find ways to manage that. Maybe enjoy it, but find ways to fight the bulge, so to speak.
Yeah, it is one of the hardest times of the year. And, you know, people can put on a lot of weight, but there's definitely a lot more temptations, and there's a lot of more excuses on why to not exercise. So only about 20% of the population works out all year round. And so this is a time where there's a high dropout rate. I want to talk a little bit about that, how to get yourself ready, and what we can do about that.
Okay, and one thing I'm wondering about is there's a whole lot of fitness apps. I use like Map My Ride for my bicycle rides, but there's so many of them out there. What do you think of these? And I'm sure that there's quite a variance of opinion depending on which ones, but in general.
Yeah, overall, I love fitness apps because they are creating solutions or support systems. One in particular that I love is called Office Yoga, because people sit at a desk all day, they're very inactive, and that's one of the problems that is being created with our environment. So technology, Map My Walk, a lot of them are free. There's a lot of applications on going to the grocery store, checking out your food, finding out your calories, and the great thing is it dumps it onto your computer, puts it in a file. You can check it out on a daily basis, a weekly basis, so I'm really into the applications. Yeah.
It does help you really monitor things without having to do much thinking, isn't that true?
Yes,
I think so. I mean, I know that, for example, I'm just using one example on my bicycle. If I'm riding my bike, I don't have to think about it. I just hit start and then finish when it's done, and that's it, and it tacks up everything for me. So
yeah,
it's really
it's a super education piece. It'll give you some little tidbits, and some of them are very motivational because they'll tell you exactly what you should be doing, but you do have to follow it.
Yeah, and it is nice, too, because it shows you what you've done after the fact, too. I think that's really cool, too.
Or what you haven't done.
Yeah, that's true, too, I suppose. Yeah, it keeps you honest, doesn't it?
But we do it.
And before we get to the demos and so forth, because we're sitting on these bouncy balls and all this kind of stuff, so, but also finding time during the holidays can be a challenge because of all the socializing. I'm thinking also because the days are so short, and a lot of people like outdoor activities, not to mention it's cold and it could be slushy or whatever it is. So how do you keep consistent during a time like this?
Well, one of the things that I like to do is I like to make sure that my car is packed up. Because packed up with my hiking boots or my gym shoes or clothes, so that if I get an opportunity and some time opens up, I don't go, okay, I can't do it, let me just sit down at my desk and keep working. So I think, you know, making sure that you're prepared, and also during the holidays, the fact is you probably will be eating a little bit more. So it's important to schedule, to take a look at it. It's got to be something that goes high on your value list. If you think of exercise as optional, the likelihood of you kicking it out the door is really high. So being prepared, having some things in your car, and just knowing that you got to get that extra workout in.
Having the stuff you need when the motivation strikes, right?
Right, right.
Okay, now let's, what are we going to do here today?
Okay, well, I wanted to talk about working on the 9 to 5 posture.
Okay.
And that is people who sit at a desk, 9 to 5 all day. So we'll stand up because one of the very first things that I do with a lot of my clients is I'll take a picture, and so they can look from the side, because what do you do all day long?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know you're standing up. I know you are.
Nice work, camera guy, Tom.
We both are. But anyways, so when you're sitting at a desk all day, this is what starts to happen.
Yeah.
And so then these muscles don't work. You get a lot of stress in here and a lot of stress in here. So, you know, exercise through the holidays, it's important, like the boot camps, the dynamic workouts, those are great, but if you're not going to get those in, or you're not getting them in regularly, we want to go back and check some of that foundation. These are things you can do at home. A lot of times people, it's all or nothing, but this is maybe something you could do 5 minutes a day just to get yourself moving and get those muscles that are weak.
We only have about a minute, I'm afraid, so
all right.
Be careful because the ball kind of rolled on me. I don't want you to sit back and fall.
Well, then the one that is probably most important, we're going to do a squat.
Okay, so you're holding that.
And the reason I like to do a front squat is it pulls everything up versus the back squat.
Oh, because you're keeping your back straight and your shoulders back.
So we're going to come down
and keeping that back
and
straight,
up.
right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Keeping the back straight, and putting all the pressure.
That has 9 pounds of weight there. We can do this without weight, though, too, right?
Yeah, definitely. The whole idea is that we want to activate our butt. Our butt muscles.
Why not?
Yep. We want those tushies to look good.
Keep the butt moving, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, another area that's really important is your core. So I'll just show you this because you're all dressed up today.
That's okay.
And we're going to get down into a plank.
Okay.
We have a lot of options here. So for somebody who has a bad back or weak abdominal muscles. Here's a modification.
I feel bad watching you do it while I'm just standing here, so I'm going to do it anyway.
All right, nice.
So, okay.
Yeah, and then the second position would be to come up to here.
Okay.
And this is what you see a lot of times in the gym, but after a while, this isn't even enough. So we would lift up.
Kind of lift
the leg.
with the butts? Oh, or you're lifting from the knees.
No,
okay.
just from the leg.
I see, okay, just getting the knees
And
off
there's a lot
the
of
ground.
different activities.
Oh, okay.
So the key here on core work and through these plank works is that you don't just use those, you modify up, because over a period of time, everything gets easy. Last one.
Okay, real quick, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
These muscles get frozen in the back.
These are the traps, right?
Yes, traps, rhomboid.
Okay.
So we want to open these muscles in here. Just a good stretch in the morning.
Isn't that good? Yeah,
Yeah.
that feels good even right now.
Yeah.
Tell you what, and I know we've got to go real quickly. I want to ask you though. So, how important is it to our spring and summer bodies to get through the holiday season?
Oh, you know what? Mindset starts right now.
Okay.
So if you think you're going to wait till later, then you probably will not do it.
All right. Good advice, Carolyn Phillips. Thank you so much for being
you're
with us.
welcome.
All right, great to see you again. And Sam.